And we kick off Exile straight over to Dijon. Very quickly starting this game off, across to the backboard. Over to Anthony. Anthony takes a shot, but saved their double commit from Manny and Firm to defend it away as Dijon looks to take it forward. And just B.I.Boy taking it back over.
Gonna be Maniac there, just almost get the shot right there to go in an A lead, but it's gonna be blocked by the Exile. It's gonna be Daejon. Oh, the Exile once again. It's gonna be an AL pass, and Daejon just looking for the redirect in the air, but couldn't really get it. So we're still so we're seeing fair chances actually, just from both sides, even from Eagles. This time we have actually seen a decent shot on target, but didn't really go in, and we're still scoreless. So I think it's an okay start so far.
Yeah, good start for the Eagles team, who haven't managed to win in a game sense of the competition so far, with their only win coming through.
Oh, the fake!
Their only win coming through a no-show from the other team, and Puncture with the first goal by Dion over the player and into the net quite easily. A minute into the game, and the first lapse in defense from Eagles.
See that he delayed his touch, trying to mess around with the reads, and those mind games looked quite effective. That was really impressive to start once again, and I believe this is the second time where Daeon just gets to start with a fake like that to score the first goal in the series. So you should expect some mind games also coming from Puncture. So it's just not really aggressive play style or anything. So you'd expect variety kind of plays, and it's gonna be 2-0 right now for the Exile. Nobody was there to defend, so that just went easily in.
Yeah, we've seen this time and time again from Eagles. Eagles go up on the attack. A player hits it against the backboard. No one's there for that second hit into the goal. And then the opponent team would just break, and no one in defense, and a goal. We've seen that frequently the last 3 times. Watching Eagles as a shot comes there from B-Boy, and the Exile saves. But back into the center now for B-Boy. B-Boy trying to get a tap on that, which he does, but saved by the Exile, as the Exile tries to take it away, but it sort of gets stuck in that bottom left-hand corner for him. As the cross comes in, Firm there. Firm with the shot, Firm with the goal, and it's game on it again, 2-1.
This is a lot better aggression from last time for Eagles. You can see that even B-Boy and just Firm and like everybody else kind of getting involved slowly in these kind of offensive plays. So I think Eagles are definitely on a good start right now. So they just need to keep on doing these kind of plays, you know. Still too early. There's just 1 goal needed, so it's still very possible for them, especially since they're starting with so many shots on target.
Yeah, almost an unrecognizable Eagles team from the last time out, where we counted maybe 4 or 5 attacks throughout the games. As the shot comes in there from the Exile and scores 3-1 to Puncture in a game where they would expect themselves to win, as well as needing to win to sort of implement that place in the top 6 for the playoffs.
Really great 3-man passing play coming also from Puncture. Also, once again, the passing play was just really smooth. Everybody had decent control, so they just took it to center the ball as well, and it's gonna be back again. 2 goals lead for Puncture. Now Eagles, they have to find a way to respond back twice right now. Almost 2 minutes remaining. It's gonna be Dan just on his way out, getting a demo, trying to disturb the positioning for Eagles.
As we look now, maybe a very unlucky hit from B-Boy. Almost a mistake, just passing it perfectly to the Exile. The Exile could not have asked for a better pass, a better assist from the Eagles player there.
Seems like we're starting again with those misplays and just mistouches in the defense for Eagles, even though they started better in the offense, but seems like again it just going all the way down. It's gonna be Dan almost. He also had his flip, but he didn't really use it. I believe he just tried to get a grunt pitch as he landed, but couldn't really get it. He got challenged immediately. It's gonna be a passing play, but there is no communication, so Anthony wasn't even expecting it, so
Yeah, De Jong with the clear now for the Puncture team as Firm tries to hit it back in. De Jong almost centering it for the Eagles, which no one was there to attack it as the ball goes back now for Dion. Dion takes a shot, hits against the backboard. No one's there except from the defending Eagles player to hit it away as the ball still stays in the Eagles half, but finally gets punched away by B-Boy. But over to De Jong now in the XR. XR with a shot on target, XR with a goal, 5-1. Game over in the first round.
They're just enjoying it for Puncture. It's just they're going for so many passing plays, the pre-jumps, and like also the double commit in the offense, but still they looked really confident to go for such a play, knowing that even they would get punished for it, it's still gonna be a win for them. It's like 4 goals lead right now, just 1 minute left, and yeah, they're just looking really confident so far. They're just going for so many passing plays. Maybe even those fake plays coming from Dayon. Already faked one. It's gonna be a pass back to Anthony. Couldn't really get the shot on target. Now it's gonna be fair on the clear.
Over to Manajak now, who tries to attack the ball, but the Exile is right there. Gets it over B-Boy. And the players, again, trying to get back. Firm finally gets back just in time for the save as Anthony tries to hit it in the air, unable to do so. De Jong now hits it, but only as far as Firm. Firm hits it against the backboard. There's B-Boy, unable to score there. And again, almost an empty goal, and Firm just getting back, just managing to get the ball and the demo in the last seconds before the ball going in. But Exile there with the sustained pressure over the last 10-15 seconds or so for Puncture, finding the net for the 6th time in the first game.
This is a big win for Puncture for game 1. It's 6-1. I think it's still possible to get to Brazil, and after that, I believe the confidence will be just will definitely skyrocket for them. And you know, they're already going for so many passing plays. They're just maybe trying to get some clips in the series.
Yeah, definitely.
Another goal. This one coming. Yeah, they finally get to Brazil.
Brazil.
5 seconds left only for Eagles. Maybe they could just sneak a kick-out goal to on Brazil themselves, maybe.
Yeah, let's hope for Eagles' sake. A 7-1 is not what you want, especially in the first game, especially down the bottom of the table. Trying to find a win. They almost get one, but as the ball hits the ground, Exile fakes it. And the first game finishes as a Brazil 7-1. And that's a great result for a Puncture team that are going to need the goals in this game. If they lose their next match against, it is Vicious, their next match is against, manage to lose that, then it does really open up the league for Carnos or Kule to take their position in the top 6. And both of them have such a superior goal difference. Well, Carnos has such a superior goal difference to Puncture that if they were to lose the last game, being Puncture, then very, very likely that they might not win the get in the top 6 at all.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we still have 3 more games for Puncture right now, and maybe they still have another series to play. I'm not really sure.
We just have this game and one more.
Yeah, so it's still gonna be possible, I believe, for them. So.
Yeah, it's just that main thing of the goal difference, though. If they were to lose the Vicious game, we have Carnos on positive 51, Kule on positive 16, with Puncture only on positive 4. So that could make a huge difference. But if a shot coming in there by Dion, Manajak just saving that and Firm hitting it away. But if Puncture carry on the free scoring way they have been during the first game, then the goal difference shouldn't be a problem, and they should make that goal difference a lot healthier. As we see B-Boy trying to defend it, manages to get it just to their left side as a shot comes in from Anthony. Firm with the save. Exile still there, trying to find a way in, but Manajak able to get it away. And a shot and a goal from De Jong. Firm trying to get it away. Just enough. You see Manajak there, gonna tap it against Firm, but a shot there from Dion and a goal. A great placement goal for the Puncture team, who are firing on all cylinders so far.
We have seen those clears and saves coming from Eagles, but it's not really the defense. It looked like it's more of a struggle, in my opinion. They struggled to maintain the position after every save they got, and it ended with a double commit on the walls. I believe Ferm and B-Boy just getting stuck in the wall, and they left the net wide open. And there you go, just another moment where you get to concede another goal, and huge defensive mistake coming from Eagles once again.
As we see,
It's gonna be
great
B-Boy.
passing play there from Puncture. Now Exile on the attack, hitting it against the backboard. B-Boy managing to hit it that bit further. Anthony having to get that tap on it. I think that could have snuck in there. As B-Boy tries to center it to Firm, but Firm got absolutely demolished by Dion there. As Anthony hits it against the backboard on the attack now for Puncture. Over to Exile. Exile looking to cross it in. Maybe even trying to take the shot himself. And does, and scores!
No way, those mind games! First time it was there, and now it's gonna be the Exile. He just delays his touch in the air, and he gets another one as he lands the ball. Just makes it high placement as well. 2-0, and those mind games, they never get old. Every single time, they just know how to find a way to break the defense.
Kickoff. A great kickoff goal there for the Eagles, just bringing it back into touching distance. Exactly how the first game played out of the first 3 goals. Puncture going 2-0 up, Eagles coming back with 1, and back into touching distance. If Eagles can start playing like we saw in slight 20-second pieces in the first game, then they definitely have the opportunity to take some points away from the Puncture team, who have played well so far.
He definitely did. I believe he's trying to focus more on positioning, so he's not really trying to throw himself in so many challenges. But still, I believe the communication is kind of a struggle. It's kind of looking a lot. Oh, the flick right there over the top. They get an equalizer.
Yeah, Eagles coming from behind, 2-0 down. You see B-Boy absolutely humiliating.
No way.
The Puncture player there. And just managing to get it over him and equalizing. And this is definitely a game. Now going 2-0 down, the Eagles will start believing in themselves, which I know you've said a lot, Rydro, that they've just lost their enthusiasm. Oh, and heartbreak there for Eagles. As we were just saying, they might be able to get back in that. How they might start be able to get some confidence. The Exile sneaks up. After that humiliation, he was not happy and wanted to get a goal to take his team back into the league lead.
Well, maybe it's you this time who was going to be jinxing the teams, because that didn't last very long for Eagles, sadly. That could have been a moment where they could just maybe gain back some confidence and just say that, okay, maybe they could sneak a goal on Anthony with a beautiful solo play right there. He managed to get a decent flick as well. I believe it was 180 flick.
I'm ready for hate comments in my Discord private messages.
Okay, that looked so beautiful for Puncture. They're
Almost
getting
like a ballerina.
solo plays, maybe flicks, and maybe mind games. So we're seeing some kind of different plays every now and then. So they still have a lot to offer in the offense. So sometimes it could be even passing plays, pre-jumps, something like that. So they're just relaxing right now, just having fun, actually.
Yeah, pass there to Exile, trying to find Dion. Dion tries to shoot, completely misses. B-Boy now on the attack, looking for Firm, unable to do so. Anthony cuts it out. But Manajak is there for the shot, but Dion there just to save it quite easily. B-Boy trying to cross it in, over 1. Saved by Anthony, but the pressure still remains for an Eagles team that has to do what they've done all over again. Coming from 2-0 down, they're going to have to come from 4-2 down as the shot comes in from Manajak, and Manajak finds the goal. Very tight there. Couldn't have placed it better anywhere else in the goal, and you would have thought Exile maybe would have saved that. Exile facing backwards, having to back jump, and just couldn't get to that point. And the game is so close again at 4-3 with just 1:30 left. If Eagles can get another quick goal and maybe take it to overtime, then it's anyone's game. Okay.
So yeah, it's possible for Eagles to get an equalizer right there. We have seen them responding back fairly quickly enough against Puncture. So we're seeing a lot better offense this time from Eagles. This time it's actually resulting in goals instead of just center balls and nobody's there to follow it up. So we get like less than a minute right now. So they just need to be a bit faster, but a goal just goes in, and once again, nobody was even expecting such a shot, and nobody was home actually.
No, with 49 seconds left, Puncture just adding the pressure on. 5-3 now, a 2-goal lead, and you got to maybe think that the game's getting away from Eagles. As we kick off again now.
Yeah.
Dion, sorry, you go.
Yeah, it was very close. It looked very close that Eagles could have the potential to maybe even get a game or something, but it's once again the same kind of problem, but it's getting a lot better. So there is still enough time for Eagles to maybe at least get a draw in this series. They are showing better plays from what I've seen before. So this is a lot better Eagles than from what I have known. So they just need to keep on doing this and keep on communicating, basically.
Yeah, as B-Boy there over the attack, looking for Maniac with a J in his name, who gets demolished there as B-Boy takes the lush pump up field, unable to get anything from it, and the ball's just going to hit the ground, and Puncture takes the second game. Very, very close second game, 5-3. And Eagles now have to come from 2-0 down in games to even get a point from this.
Yeah, now things could be getting a lot harder for Eagles, but from what I've seen in this game, they're showing some good potentials in the offense. We saw really good shots and accuracy on their shots, like Maniac, Maniac Bear and also B-Boy. They're just doing really well in the offense. Same thing for Firm. He's also helping with the positioning, even though he looked silent in the offense, but he's still helping out the team a lot when it comes to the positioning and just maybe slowing things down to get his teammates to rotate back and grab some boost and all. So yeah, overall this is better offensive plays coming from Eagles, and I'm really surprised to see how well they're actually doing and how close game 2 actually ended up to be.
Yeah, a lot better from Eagles, which we haven't really seen much of all season over their 13 games played with just the 1 win, the 1 draw, and the 11 losses. To Puncture, who has actually got a really good win-draw-loss ratio so far this season, with 8 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. The joint top most draws in the league. As we see B-Boy there, just escaping the danger and going on the attack. The shot against the backboard, and Anthony gets it away there.
Gonna be Anthony with a pre-jump over the wall. It's gonna be B-Boy, just almost got the redirect. Was aiming for the top corner. That would have been so nasty for Eagles. I think that would be even humiliating and a very close save right there from B-Boy. They stay alive in this one, so we're still scoreless. It was, I believe, like 80% in or something. Now it's gonna be Maniac there. Off to the walls. It's gonna be followed by Firm. Maybe looking for the center ball. It's gonna be Exile with a clear. He goes for the second touch, but couldn't really get it. Now Dayon on a solo play once again. Maybe just going for those mind games, just delaying his touches once again. But this time, they just don't really fall for it, and maybe a double commit coming from Puncture. But they still do a really good job at defending.
Anthony taking it back to his own goal. Exile just getting there in time to stop the own goal, but Maniac with the shot, unable to get anything from it. Over to Firm, who just messed about with it for a little bit too long. B-Boy now trying to do something for his team as Dion takes it away. Dion now just pausing his attack slightly, trying to get the best second to do it, but cut out and Firm with the attack, and again, Eagles, no one getting forward for those crosses. We're seeing time after time after time where a great cross would come in and there would be no one to send it home, as we see Eagles on the attack again with Firm. Firm hidden against that corner to ricochet it in. No one there to follow up. Firm had to try and do it by himself.
We're gonna be almost halfway in and nobody has scored a single goal, so it's only getting closer, and Eagles, they're just giving it their best, and it's really showing. You really gotta respect him for the effort they're just putting right now. They're just not giving up, even though they have the worst placement, worst record in the season. But they're still not giving up, and they're just putting insane amount of effort. But it's a huge demo from the Excel. Exactly halfway in, and we get a goal for Puncture.
Yeah, some great stuff we're seeing from Eagles. Arguably, maybe the best we've seen them play all season, and unfortunately, it comes so late on in the league where they're finding their feet, and it took a demolition to find a way through this Eagles team, who in this third game have played absolutely amazing. As we see another attack by Puncture here, who's maybe going to put their foot on the gas a little bit more. Try to get that second goal they need. And two players blown up from Puncture, two Eagles. Momentarily went down to a 3v1 situation, but couldn't do anything with it. But as we see, the attack comes in. The Eagles player out of position from those demolitions. And the goal from Dion. A beautiful little fly through the air, just tap on the bonnet, a little boop on the bonnet, and into an empty net. 2-0 with less than 2 minutes to go.
They're definitely they definitely do acknowledge the aggression and the pressure coming from Eagles, so they're just trying to, instead of going for the ball, they're just going for the cars themselves, and they're getting those demos. Two demos, they're just a bit too much to actually disturb the defense and the positioning for Eagles, and that created a huge chance for Puncture to have another chance to get another goal. And yeah, those demos are just incredible. No matter how good you are in the defense, like one demo can take out like one player, and you're gonna be kind of confused who should go for it, especially if you're kind of stuck in the defense. That's what we have seen from Eagles, because every time they just try to rotate back for Puncture, they just try to get a demo, or maybe if somebody has the ball, just slowing it down, and they let somebody else to go for a demo. So we're seeing maybe a bit of different play style from Puncture, so that's a really good thing. They're just trying to be a bit of unpredictable, even though Eagles are doing a really good job at adapting to their play style. It's gonna be Anthony right there off the wall. Couldn't really get the follow-up, and now Dayon just take it all the way back home, and it's gonna be a follow from Therm. He gets to read it like a book.
Yeah, great shot there from the Eagles player, who they definitely deserve something from what we've seen so far in these games. Firm with that shot on just that 43 seconds left mark, and they're going to be pushing for that goal as Dion gets the best of that situation there on the kickoff. Firm going to look to try and carry his team to a victory as AXL there manages to get it away. Maniac just gifting a pass to Exile, and luckily for Maniac, not coming anything to it from that mistake, as Dion starting to just play and try and waste as much time as he wants in the Eagles' defense as B-Boy attacks, and maybe a little bit of a cheap plays there from Puncture, just keeping that demo. And will he be able to find anyone? No, for the 10th, 11th, 12th consecutive time in these matches and in past matches. A great center for Eagles to hit in, but no one is there again. You got to think, how many times is a nice cross, a nice center going to be able to get into that middle bit, and Eagles are not going to follow up? The amount of goals and potential chances that they've missed just through that alone, they could be a lot further up the table.
I really believe it's just those demos. They're just always taking somebody out of the play, and you know, when it's like a momentary 2v3, you just want to focus on positioning a bit more until your teammate responds back and maybe gets to collect himself, because it takes maybe half a second to realize like, okay, you're in the left or right side, so it just adds a bit more to the decision making. Should you grab the boost, or just maybe go for it, or maybe just stay in the back? There's like, you kind of like start fresh for a second, and it kind of like you just got born right in the game, you know. So it's like 3-1 right now, but still better aggression from Eagles, and I'm really amazed to see this actually. But right now there is like This server, I believe it's crashed, so we have to recreate the private match. It's gonna take a few seconds only.
Yeah, as we're waiting for that, we can just have a look, or we can talk about where Puncture is going to be in this table at the end of today, potentially, with Puncture winning the game 7-1, 5-3, and 2-1, meaning that they would have a extra 9 on their goal difference to take them up to positive 11, which will still be one of the worst in the top 8, but definitely a better than when they started, and really needed a good 4-0 whitewash maybe, or a good score to concede ratio against this Eagles team, who does seem to have played a lot better so far in this last game, and can maybe even get a point in their last game, or even 3, as we kick off there, and Firm with the goal almost in the first second, 3 seconds in, and a great goal from Firm, and they do not want to be whitewashed.
And normally you would get blinded by the smoke, but if you look at Firm, how he's just going ballistic, just following the ball just right away to go in an early lead, only in 3 seconds, and Eagles, they get a goal on the board. So Firm, I believe, is just giving it all, just doing his best right now to maybe get a win at least, because you know that it's obviously not the best result when it comes to the standings. So they're trying their best at least to finish at least maybe with a win or something. But even though it's just gonna be 3-1, but maybe they're still trying to show us what they're able to do in the offense. And Firm it could be a really good example when it comes to that. Just 3 seconds in, 1 goal for Eagles.
Yeah, not the most attackingly dominating side are Puncture, as they've put a fine attacking display on today. We've seen very many demolitions from this Puncture team, who maybe would be struggling to break down Eagles if that wasn't a part of the game. But since it is a part of the game, they're obviously going to take full advantage of that, as B-Boy manages to take it away from that top of the backboard. But Puncture still on the attack, but Maniac will defend it, and Firm smashes it upfield only as far as Anthony. Anthony looking to pass to Dion, which he does. A shot almost on target, hitting the inside of the post, and Firm managing to hit it away, as Firm now on the attack. And maybe Puncture getting some medicine of their own there from Eagles, after Eagles a double demolition, but not attacking quickly enough to benefit almost from that, as the attack comes in from Dion. Ooh. Dion scores a great chance from Eagles there, not carried on, and Dion will just take the ball, put it in the Eagles net, and levels the game up to 1-1.
I thought it was gonna be safe because it looked like there was somebody in the net, but maybe he wasn't expecting such a placement, and oh, that could have been another kickoff goal for Eagles to start once again with a quick lead, but not anymore. It's gonna be tied up, but we got 3 minutes, and yeah, exactly. Eagles, they just basically using their playstyle against them at the moment.
Yeah, Eagles giving them a chance of their own medicine, as Firm tries to do what to Anthony what happened to Exile earlier in the game. A demolition from Dion to Maniac with a J in his name. And the same result to what we've seen previously throughout this game. A demolition and a goal.
That was absolutely savage playstyle coming from Puncture. They get to demo and just a quick respawn, but speaking of a quick respawn, we get to see another one right off the kickoff, and basically Eagles, they get 2 kickoff goals, and what happened right there? It just 2 players went for it, and Martin decided not to touch the ball yet.
Yeah, so far a really sloppy 4th game here, as the scores are 2-2. Seen a lot of demos, a lot of cheap goals, as Anthony tries to hit this off the backboard and play with it. His car upside down, unable to flip it just before he landed, but it's fine. He's still with the ball. He's still attacking, but Maniac managing to save it. And Firm as well. Firm now desperately trying to get forward. Does not want to be whitewashed. Anthony's there, but Exile just demoing Firm again and again and again. Another explosion there. Jeez, this is a destruction derby now. Another one! Dion exploding Maniac. As Exile misses the ball only as far as Dion. Dion with the shot, Firm with the save. Exile trying to follow it in, unable to do so. Maniac with the defensive clearance only as far as Anthony. Anthony hits it to the left-hand side. Over to Dion. Dion may try to center it, or may try and play around with it.
Dion Look at them, having that card deadlock rule right there, which is some people say that it's rule number 1, some people say that it's rule number 2, but it doesn't matter. Maniac may just completely demolished once again, and I don't think you have ever seen so many demos in just one single game here at Liga Raketa, so this is the first time I get to see something like this. And it's gonna be Dion with an own goal. What's going on in this game?
I think Dion stopped caring. Dion, I think, knows that in the last 30 seconds, they can just put on the pressure, score as many as they want, and win. In my opinion, I think in the last 45 seconds, Puncture's gonna turn around and go, okay, we've had our fun with Eagles. Let's finish the job. As whiffs going all over the place. Firm now looking to attack the ball. Firm with the shot. Anthony with the save. Dion with the demo to Maniac. And no one back, as we've seen so many times. I can say it and say it again, and it's never going to change. Puncture, knowing that they can score whenever they want against this Eagles side that did hold a decent account on themselves today, but maybe not good enough.
It's I believe Maniac, he got demolished upfield, and he looked Firm in a really active position, so he couldn't really get to rotate as quick as possible. But I'm not really sure what's going on with this kickoff. Seems like every kickoff, it's either gonna be a free goal or just gonna be a quick center ball, or just like two players basically going for it, but not really touching the ball. I'm not sure what is really in their head right now. But seems like they're just trying to mess around, but it could cost them a game actually. So they should be careful about that. They need to focus at maybe the goals differential.
Yeah, definitely not a game that Puncture wants to mess around with. In an eye of the Puncture, if they lose this, or lose their final game of the season, it opens up so much for Kule or Karnos esports to take their place. If that does happen, and they are unable to beat Vicious in their last game of the season, and exactly that happens, they're going to look back at this and be kicking themselves. They will be looking back at this, wondering why they were messing about, and could possibly have cost them the title if they have a good run in the playoffs. As we see, anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
I mean, you're very close. You know, you said that it's when it's like 45 seconds, they're gonna be finishing the job, and Dayon with a flip reset right there. Maybe decide to get clips on his way out in the seas, but yeah, you're right. Like you said, but when the game's like on 45 seconds left, they're gonna be trying to finish the job, and it was like only 3 seconds away, so you could actually be like accurate with the prediction, I believe.
A man of wisdom.
Yeah, that was very well read actually, because in my opinion, I thought like maybe they tried to get a fancy goal or something like that. But again, so many demos, and it's already a 3v2 for Eagles, so they already got one player less, and that's gonna be even a harder time to maintain the positioning while also avoiding these demos.
Yeah, as it finishes off, it's going to be 6-3 as the ball hits the ground.
The ball is still alive, and
yeah,
oh,
the
okay.
ball is still alive.
It still is. They could get a 0-second goal right there. I believe they're just trying to control it.
They're just messing about right now. As Dion hits it up, only over to the side. I think Exile wants the game over. The game is over now. Finishes 6-3, the final game. Total goals scored 20 for Puncture, 8 for Eagles, which will gain Puncture 12 additional goal difference to take them up to 16, which if Kule or Karnos win both of their matches, will not be enough if Puncture doesn't manage to beat Vicious in their last game. But a very comprehensive victory for Puncture. Eagles showed